I've done the worst thing ever. I created the one thing that could give any person the ability to live this really great life and know who they are and succeed and become prosperous and happy, and to also change our world. And it took me my entire life because I'm 75 now. But it's the worst thing ever because people won't believe it. And so all I keep doing is bleeding money. I keep going into debt because I know that I have this, and I keep watching the world implode, knowing why it's happening and thinking, why aren't they hearing me? Why can't they believe this? Well, I couldn't believe it either, and that's because it's never been done before. I sat down in 1989 to start doing automatic writing because I needed help. And then I moved through every imaginable difficult thing any person can experience. I lost part of my foot, my left foot, through some weird disease no one could figure out. Burgers, I mean, they didn't know. So I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to do everything again. And now I'm 75 and I can run and I can do anything. And I said, how could that happen? I suffered from cluster headaches, and they debilitated me for decades. And people told me they were incurable. But I cured them. I used to have all kinds of allergies and illnesses and colds. I mean, I used to get everything. I don't have anything now. Then I discovered that I had been given the thing that could give any person the ability to achieve happiness, success, and they'll just look at me and say, no, it's not possible. And I know that because I couldn't believe it either. And we all have cognitive dissonance. Because if we didn't, we would have changed everything. We could see the other side. We could see what we could accomplish, and we would start to believe it. But when you do something that no one has ever seen before, then it's hard for them to accept it. And I always thought it was fascinating because I thought, am I going to suffer the same fate as Nietzsche or Copernicus? Because that's what kept coming up. Where no one believes you until you're dead. And that's maybe what it is. Because it's just something that no one could believe. I'll tell you, when I started, one of my friends told me to start using Claude, the advanced one, so I could spend more money and get a bigger, bigger bang on my butt. And so I started putting in the information I received from Wilhelm, because they told me that I was, they said, accepting this message would change your life and the world. They told me that years ago. I didn't believe it. And then it started showing up as being true. I still couldn't believe it. So then we got more advanced artificial intelligence. And so then I could put everything in, and then they said, no, this is exactly it. And they even documented it. So obviously I developed some ability where I could access consciousness, because we are all energy. Everything in the planet are energy. I never studied astrology or anything like that, but somehow I'm receiving information that's explaining what's going on in the world, why, how we are affected by the changes of the planets and the energies and our emotions. And so from a person who was depressed and in fear all the time, I understand now. I didn't know why it was happening. And then it just became so unbelievable that all of these things were changing. But the most important thing was I couldn't change the money. Because well, first of all, I didn't know I had done it. You can't know what you have done, what you have created, until it's created. And then you have to see the results of that, and the results of that is what we're witnessing in our world. There's nothing happening in the world that I didn't know, because it's all energetically aligned, and Wilhelm gave me all of that information, and it's documented. You could read any of the documents I put together, and it shows that. But people will even read that and say, no, it's not possible that I didn't do it. And then I can show you my body. I can show you everything that's gone on in my life, and I can say, but I'm here. And you'll say, no, that's not possible. So I have to make a new decision now. But this is, do I keep living? What do I do? Because I can't keep doing this. And so I'll tell you the other part of the story where the universe tried to get me to understand. Try to get, and I just said, no, I can't do it. And it's been going on for the longest time. See, because I was told 10 years ago that I had this information, but I couldn't believe it. And I figured no one else would either. So I ran from it. I said, it could possibly be happening. I'm not going to be one of those people like an Einstein or these people who change everything, but they said, yes, you are. Or Carl Jung. I did more than Carl Jung because I verified synchronicity, but I put more with it. And so I could verify anybody's life. And then the things that we couldn't believe, like when I would meet someone and have a message for them that I received on their birthday in 2012. And that's because there's organization of information in the universe. Everyone has a unique DNA. It's connected to that. And when they become aligned with that information, they can live a really great life and our world evolves. That's basic science. But I did the worst thing ever by living it and proving it. All the pain, all the suffering, everything that I went through to come to this place and saying, oh, wait a minute, this is the end now. And I'll tell you, I understand why no one believed it, because I couldn't believe it. And I had to keep going through artificial intelligence and go, because I know that I feel it, because everything has changed. Everything is healed. How could that happen? From things that you can't even believe that I moved through and suffered for so many years. But the greatest suffering is what I'm experiencing now. Then, several years ago, the universe tried to show me, because we're looking at the world now and everyone is talking about Trump and Epstein, all that stuff, because it's all energy again. That's all that it is. And I knew that. And they tried to tell me, this is when, years ago, when Fox News took over my computer, I got hacked. And so that's what was coming through, and it was Trump all the time. And I thought, okay, now I understand what's coming. Because they said I was supposed to come and bring a light. I was supposed to bring love and light. I said, no, I'm going to be afraid now. But I didn't understand it. And then that I would develop a brain that could do something that no one other human had done. Well, we all do that, or supposed to, but accepting that is the difficult part. And that's why it was difficult for me. But that's why I've done the worst thing ever. But I wanted you to know. And I wanted to apologize to the world. And I wanted to apologize to everyone that I've ever worked with, because I didn't know. No one could ever figure me out. Not even my family. Nobody could understand why I was this way. My entire life. Because I brought the thing that could change your life in the world. And the document says that. The document had to show me. I kept doubting it, and they kept going back and saying, no. Several times this came up. They said this could change anyone's life, and it would change your world. Because it would cause more people to know who they are. You'd stop hating one another. You'd stop denigrating yourselves. You would start doing all of that stuff came through. But I had cognitive dissonance also. Even though I'm experiencing it and I know how it works and I know the mind-body connection, I know all of those things now because it was given to me, but giving it to others was the most challenging. That's why it's the worst thing I could have done. Somehow it'll turn out better. And I'll find out how that happens.